Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, we'll be checking how to make the AI follow the player using C++ and behavior trees and blackboard. How to simply set up a behavior tree and a blackboard. So let's get right into it. Okay, so we have opened an Unreal Engine template, a top-down template. This is the default template used in Unreal. So let's go to our character. Looking into the character. Okay, it's in top-down blueprints, and then it's BWBP and top-down character. So we'll need to duplicate this particular blueprint. So let's right click on the character and then click on duplicate. You can also use Control D. Let's name it BP underscore AI character. Save the file. So this will be our AI character. Now we'll need to create a new folder called AI Essentials. Create a behavior tree called AI character underscore BT, and then create a blackboard called AI character underscore BB. Let's open the blueprint blackboard, add a new key object and name it as player. The key type should be object and the base class should be an actor. So this behavior tree is associated with this blackboard. Now let's open the C++ class and create a new C++ class. Go to all classes and search for BT task node. Click on next. Select the BT task node, click on next and then name it find player underscore BT task. Click on create class. Okay, now we have the header file and the CPP of find player underscore BT task. Let's go to the header file and add public. We'll first add a you find player BT task, which is the constructor, and then we'll add the variable f blackboard key selector called the player key. This is the player key which we'll need to add in the BT task. This will be exposed in the behavior tree, so we'll need to name it as u property edit anywhere. We'll also need to add a virtual method which is overriding from the uBT task called execute task. The signature of that is as follows: ebt node result type execute task, which is overridden from the parent class. Creating a CPP of that. In the CPP class, we are just creating that called the execute task. Let's also create the constructor and give the node name as find player. Now in the execute class, we'll need to get a method, we'll need to get the player, and then we'll need to assign the player to the player key, which we gave it in the header file. So for that, we'll need to do, we'll need to first get the player pawn. So for that, we'll get a pawn class, a pawn reference called player, and then we'll use u gameplay statics, which is a static method, get player pawn. This will get you the player pawn. We need to give pass in a parameter called get world and 0. This will get you the player pawn. We'll need to then get the blackboard reference of this particular BT task node. So we'll use owner comp get blackboard component. Once you get the blackboard, we set the blackboard. We'll use blackboard set value as object with the player, passing in the player. So for that we should pass the player key. First parameter will be player key dot selected key name, and then the next one will be the player pawn, which we just fetched from the gameplay statics. We'll return the success here, succeeded, and then we'll return failed if we don't get a player pawn. So in order to use u gameplay statics, we need to include the gameplay statics folder file. So for that we used kismet slash gameplay statics.h. And similarly, you'll also need to include, in order, as we are using blackboard and setting the value as object, you'll need to use the blackboard key.h. For that, it's present in AI module, classes, behavior tree, blackboard component.h. Once that is done, let's go to Unreal Engine and then compile this particular file. Let's compile this. So on compiling, it looks like the compile failed. So let's go back to our Visual Studio. It looks like there's a linker error. So let's go back to our Visual Studio. So on going to source tutorials, build, we need to include another dependency called gameplay tasks. As we are using the BT tasks, we need to include that. So let's add that dependency here called gameplay tasks in quotes. Let's build the solution now. Okay, the build is succeeded. Let's go back to our Visual Studio, sorry, Unreal Engine. Let's go to top down, blueprints, and AI character blueprint. Let's create, let's call sequence, and then from sequence we call the newly created BT task node called find player. That's the BT task. So we need to then move to that particular player. So let's change the blackboard key to player for move to, and also for find player, the player key will be player. So this will find the player and then move the character to the player. Let's add a wait time of 2 seconds. We need to now see if we have included the volumes called navmesh bounds volumes. Let's press the key P. Oh, it looks like it's already been added to this level. So we don't need to add a navmesh bounds volume. Let's drag our character into the level, and then we have to, let's go inside the character and change the default. Let's try to run behavior tree here. Okay, it looks like it needs to be run on the controller side. So we need to create a new AI controller. So let's create a new AI controller. Right click blueprint class, all classes, AI controller. We then use BP underscore AI controller. And then in the event graph on begin play, we run the behavior tree. And then use the AI character underscore BT. Once that's done, we have to change the AI controller class to BP underscore AI controller, which we just created. On running the game, the character follows us wherever we go in the world. So that's it for this video. Thank you.